Mindfulness as a kind of meme, as an idea in the culture, is associated with chilling, Zen, relaxation, kind of spa days. None of this has got anything to do with the original intention of mindfulness. I'd like to talk a little bit now about mindfulness and meditation. These are much misunderstood these days. As the term has become more and more popular, so it's also become more and more, I believe, misunderstood. I first encountered clinical mindfulness meditation used in clinical contexts, in the early 2000s at a university where I was studying for a master's degree in Wales. I did a master's in the clinical applications of mindfulness. And I was hugely excited because I'd been meditating for years, and now suddenly there was a master's, a secular master's, teaching people how to use meditation for people who are subject to relapsing depression, or who had anxiety or chronic pain or other conditions, stress. And that was wonderful. What it was doing was taking this stuff which previously had lived in exclusively Buddhist contexts and bringing it out into the world and finding a language for it, talking about it in ways that were very, very amenable, very, very accessible. And that was wonderful. So I started to teach eventually on that program, having graduated, and I was mainly teaching clinicians in our National Health Service, training them in the use of mindfulness in clinical contexts. And I did that for several years. Eventually, I moved out of that field and started also to work with executive coaches and then eventually business executives, and developed mindful leadership training. But that's another story. As mindfulness was coming out of the Buddhist retreat centers and the urban Buddhist centers into a kind of mainstream environment, so it was becoming better and better and better known. When I first started to teach it, it was like pushing water uphill. I'm here to talk about mindfulness. What's that? Now everybody thinks they know about it. And this has been driven a large part by apps as well as books. But the apps have made a massive difference. And I meet so many people these days who've at least experimented with doing some meditation guided by a mindfulness app. And that's great, it's lovely. Unfortunately, where this has often gone is towards mindfulness for relaxation. How to use these techniques and these methods in order to chill out a bit. And the sad downside of that is that sometimes, and maybe even pretty often, they don't work. People find that they try to listen to guidance on an app to still their chattering minds, and it doesn't happen. And very often people get into fights with themselves about, I just couldn't do this. I tried to get rid of my thoughts, I tried to empty my mind, couldn't do it. And they gave up. And mindfulness as a kind of meme, as an idea in the culture, is associated with chilling, Zen, relaxation, kind of spa days, on the one hand, or emptying your mind, getting rid of your thoughts on the other. You can buy bath salts branded as mindfulness bath salts, You can buy aromatherapy oils branded as mindfulness aromatherapy oils. None of this has got anything to do with the original intention of mindfulness, where it was taught as a liberative technique, a technique to free people from attachment to the troubling nature of their own minds, to see their own minds at work and to come to understand the nature of mind and to understand how they can begin to do things differently so that they come to have a different kind of mind. And this is not the same as just chilling out. This is a deep inquiry into the mind that you have. It's a deep first-hand kind of neuroscience experiment, we might say. It's a first-person neuroscience experiment with real dedicated mindfulness practice. What you do is you turn the lens of attention through 180 degrees, and instead of just looking at the world through your mind, as it were, you look at your mind. You begin to observe this mind producing this experience. You get to see how this mind produces this experience. You come to see that at first hand. You observe the process by which you are probably over and again generating frustration and often anxiety or unhappiness for yourself in the way in which you are using the wonderful mind that you have. That's what many people would find when they come to really engage with mindfulness practice.